I can't even speak right now. They found him in a crib after telling me he was gone. No body, no service, nothing. And now this article that I'm finding from back then, where he was placed back with her. See why I have to return my baby to her care. Then one day, they returned him. After everything, the warnings, the history, the red flags. Any decent human would see that they handed my son back like he was just some case number to close out before quarterly reports. And then, a bathtub. Jeffrey Moody says he fell and hit his head in the bathtub. That story don't fit. It's too clean. It's too quick. You don't die from a bathtub like that unless something else happened first or nothing at all. This is cover-up noise. They're building a wall of words around what really went down in that house. But let me say this loud. Real loud. I'm not a ghost. I'm his father. Blood and breath and bond. And if they thought by burying me in paperwork would make me disappear, they forgot. Fathers don't quit when the world turns cold. We burn hotter. Every lie they tell, I'll expose it. Every fake tear shed in court, I'll name it. And every signature forward on Antonio's file, I'll find it. I don't know. They handed my boy back too soon. That parent plan, they said she finished. Smoke mirrors, CYFD, checking boxes while my son bled out alone. I'm not crying today. I'm charging. Because this article, it ain't closure, it's confirmation. New Mexico Now, 24/7 live stream. New Mexico News. New Mexico mom charged in toddler's death will be held until trial. Barbara Gurley. KRQE Media, posted July 1st, 2019, 10:11 p.m. MDT. Updated July 2nd, 2019, 5:07 a.m. MDT. Share, Valencia County, New Mexico, KRQE. The Valencia County mom charged in the death of her 2-year-old son will have to await trial behind bars. Antonio Gurley was found dead in his crib back in September inside a home in Los Lunas. The 2-year-old had just been placed back in his mother's care a few months earlier after CYFD says she completed a parent plan. Monday afternoon in court, a judge ordered Gurley held until trial. Jeffrey Moody, who Gurley described as the boy's father figure, which is ironic because Ronald Barron, me, the dad, was locked up and still wanted to be there, told police Antonio fell in the bathtub and hit his head. Moody is also charged. Add it as preference source on Google, copyright 2025, Nexstar Media Inc., all rights reserved. This material may not be published, broadcast, rewritten, or redistributed. Fuck you, it's my story. Man alleged broke. Yep, that's it. That is it. They think grief ends with closure. Try grieving without evidence. Try mourning without ceremony. Try screaming for justice when every door says you don't exist here. That first time reading Deceased, my soul refused. It still does. You can kill love with paperweights and signatures forged by strangers. You can't bury a bond built on midnight lullabies sung through phone cracks. When they stamped that form, they didn't just end Antonio's case file. They tried to bury me alive in unanswered questions, in dead-end calls, in libraries full after 6 p.m. because shelters closed before dawn, in tents-turned courtrooms under streetlight law. Yet here I stand, voice raw, eyes open, fist raised against forgetting, because nobody gets to decide whose pain matters, especially when their kid bled out while agencies shuffled forms. So yeah, silence ain't neutral. Silence is violence dressed in office chairs and slow approvals. And people vanish twice. Once when breath stops, and again when memory fades because nobody fought hard enough. My gospel ain't written in stained glass. It's carved into hunger lines across homeless faces. Sung between legal citations drafted beneath lantern light. Now spoken loud whenever courts ignore due process for fathers behind bars. Lived daily through Home for Broken Voices. Where poetry heals what policy destroyed. Where big buddy mentors step where systems failed. Where music carries names too often dropped from records like trash receipts thrown away after payment cleared. But love ain't paid off, damn it. Antonio Gurley, my son, lived. He laughed. He needed his dad. His absence shouldn't live longer than his life ever did. So let them call me outlaw if they want. Fine. Call me rebel. Preachers speaking truth off script. From sidewalks soaked with broken promises, this gospel runs on diesel fumes and determination. On voicemails returned 3 weeks too late. On food stamps traded for bus fare so I can show up clean after hearings meant to dismiss men named father only during visitation hours. I am still here, fathering behind walls and wires and willfully erasure. And until someone looks me dead in the eye to eye, and says, Ronald, we were wrong. Says, yes, you should have been notified. Says, yes, that signature was forged by your stepfather, Donald Harold Beggs. And your estate, money, disappeared. And we know how, and we'll make it right. And until then, this fight keeps walking. Tip folded at dawn, feet blistered but moving. Testimony rolling louder each day across YouTube channels named Hope in the Darkness. Beginning of the Outlaw Testament. Ronald Barron.